Hey everyone, this is the second episode of Objectively Not Optimized, and this one is for sure not very optimized. The sound is pretty rough on Jason's end. It's my fault. It's not his. It's not a fault on his end. So if you can just bear with that. Mainly, what we're talking about on this one is our Wizlander format, which is basically a pre-modern, old school 100 card singleton format. We just kind of go over the rules. Just bear with the audio. I'll get it right eventually. We appreciate you watching, and just let us know if you've got any questions about the format. Thanks.
And I think that's where you and I have been going with these made-up formats, right? Like Blender.
Yeah.
If somebody can show up and spike it, yeah, of course, because other people. But
but see, I'm fine with that. Like, because what you need to get people into the format, right? Get people into the format, and then adjust the format if it needs adjusting. Like, and that's fine, right? Like, this is what Canadian Highlander. That's why, I found Canadian Highlander years ago. I remember I've never played a game of Canadian Highlander in my life, but I found it years ago, and I watched so much LRR content for it's such a great format. Especially if you like singleton, you play with every single card that's ever printed except for anti-cards, and they adjust the format like it needs to be adjusted. And so you have I don't know, a dozen decks that could just win, or probably more than that, right? There's 25,000 cards in Magic, so there's probably a lot of decks, right? And every deck can be completely different.
And see, that was the thing. I hosted Canadian Highlander here at the house before the pandemic. There's 25,000 people in my hometown. We had 6 or 8 guys every week out of a pool of about 10. We would come over and jam 3 games.
Yeah.
And we would drink beer or eat pizza or whatever, and everyone hang out and have a good time, and then go back about their life. That was every week. And we played for 6-7 months probably before the lockdown ended up scaring people away from having friends.
Mm-hmm.
But that was great because that format can handle people trying to spike it. One copy of a card.
Right.
And if you're going to put 7 tutors in your deck, well, sometimes you get to go do the thing, but sometimes you draw the wrong half of your deck while your opponent goes 1-1, untap, 2-2, untap, 3-3, tap, kill your blocker, untap, trumpet blast, good game.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. That's why I'm building Ball Lightning as my next command for
Wizard Leader. Wizard Leader.
Fun police, yeah, whatever. I'll be the fun police.
So, I mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to talk about Wizlander? Oh gosh. Camera's fixed now. Okay. My phone went dead, so I had to then switch to this camera and mess around with it. We needed to have set rules for the format and not have all this play the format and make your decks flavorful, because that's just not it wouldn't work like that, right? At first, we again, not the rules weren't very good, so I had to start writing the rules down, and then I didn't want it to be people. I mean, we poo on the commander too, right? Everybody poos on commander kind of in this space. So I didn't want it to sound a lot like commander or EDH. I didn't want it to be like that, because I think that turns a lot of people off. EDH, 4 players, I got to play in the pod and it's politics. No, that's not what I want. This is a 2-player format. I mean, if you want to play 4 players, sure. Just like you can play Magic with 4 players. You can play old school with 4 players if you want. But this is really a 2-player format. And I wanted to make it, I wanted to be able to still have all the cards in the card pool. And I want people to play with proxies, because it's just easy to play with proxies, right? You want to build a deck with a Bazaar Baghdad in it. You don't have Bazaar Baghdad, proxy it. Sure, it's fine. But you can't make a format that has all the proxies in it, or that allows proxies, and then just have no power restriction. Because then you're just me and you are gonna try to play fun stuff. Our definition of fun things, right? I'm doing the air quotes here. Fun stuff. And then you're going to have others that play with 25 restricted, old school restricted cards, right? Or just the most powerful stuff. And it's not going to be enjoyable. I don't even think that would be enjoyable for the person playing all the good cards, right? Because you're just dunking on people playing their, whatever, mono black deck like me. I don't know. That's the only thing I can reference, because that's all I play. So I thought about giving it the points list, which I kind of like because it's kind of fun to give. It's kind of fun to like create this, right? I'm a brewer. I like to brew stuff, so all right, I'll brew up this points list. And it's not like I'm pulling this shit just out of my ass. Like there are already cards that are restricted in Type 1, Classic Type 1. There are already cards that are pointed in Canadian Highlander, which you really can't go off that because they're using 20,000 more cards in their card pool. But like there's already evidence of this working, and I already have a good list to go off of with the Classic Type 1 restricted list. Like I have a good list to start with, right? With power and the other stuff that Classic restricts. So basically that's what I did. And so then me and you talked about it some more, and we're like, so I had all these cards pointed, and you were like, my Doomsday combo deck sucks now. It has 37 points in it or something. And I'm like, yeah, I do kind of see that, right? You can't, a lot of times, this also shows to me in X points as well. It doesn't show up as much in old school, right? Because like some combo decks are still pretty good in old school, but like X points has a problem with combo because powerful cards are pointed. You need the pointed cards to play the combo, to make the combo work. But when you point those cards, you have to point those cards because control decks need them pointed as well. And control decks are just already better. They're just already better than combo decks. So now you're like hurting the combo deck because you pointed cards to keep the control decks not as good. So I was like, okay, well, I'll adjust these points. And like I had the points, I had the most powerful cards. I had them pointed at 10 points, right? So I'm allowing 10 points in your deck. I had the most like if you want to play an Ancestral Recall, that's 10 points. I'm sorry, that's the only piece of you're getting in 99 cards. I know it sounds kind of like extreme, but if you draw a library turn 1, or you play a library turn 1 in Wizlander, and you just happen to get that in your first 7 cards of your 99, you play a library, you probably win. Like, I don't know how I can deal with you drawing 2 cards a turn in Wizlander. Because again, the deck, so like you have to like make these cards like really high pointed. So I changed that points list, and I just made a list that was like one of. I've adjusted the screen so you can see like what I ended up doing. And we'll go back and read the rules to the format. It's whatever. It's Canadian Highlander and EDH mixed together. It's not that hard. With old frame. It's not that hard. Very basic. The rules of Magic apply. We're not playing Pokemon cards or any kind of other shenanigans. It's rules of Magic. So to make the format a little more powerful, again, I took cards that were highly pointed, and I just put them on a one-of list. So you can play one of these cards in your deck. You can play one Ancestral Recall, or one Library, or one Mind Twist, or one Necro, or one Charizard. If you want to play Charizard, I don't know why I have that on there, but like I think it's funny. Tolaria Academy is broken, just like this. This is again, it's banned in Commander for a reason. Like it's broken. It's a broken card. So Tolaria Academy is on there. Honestly, I would say a lot of these cards even deserve points. Like putting them on this one-of list actually makes them more powerful because you can play them, and now you can play tutors to get them. So what I've done is I've made it more powerful, but kind of in hopes to like make some decks that you couldn't play. Like if you want to play some kind of combo deck, you can maybe work that out and play a combo deck. Anyway, Yogg Bargain, it's on here. The highest, again, I'm just going off of, right, what are the most powerful things you can do that break Magic's normal gameplay? So like the most powerful things you can do are like draw cards for cheaply or make mana like aggressively mana ramp, right? Those are like the two most broken things you can do. So like free mana ramp, I want to specify like free-ish mana ramp, right? So your highest pointed cards, Soul Ring, Mana Crypt. Good lord, I cast Mana Crypt in Classic Type 1 the other day. It was crazy. I don't get to cast a lot of these cards. I don't play these formats, right? I don't play these broken formats. So Soul Ring and Mana Crypt are highest pointed, and then the rest of the like kind of mid-pointed cards are either wheels or again drawing a bunch of cards like Stroke or Rain Geyser. Moxes are 6. Lotus is 6. What else is 6? Memory Jar is 6. That's kind of like a pseudo wheel, right? Yogg Will is 6. I moved Yogg Will down just kind of because I think it's kind of I almost moved it down because I think it's funny. I moved Yogg Wheel down to 6 so you could play a tutor with it. You can play a tutor and a Yogg Wheel.
I still can't play it though because I have to play Minds Design. Right in the combo deck.
So we talked about this like.
I would actually prefer Yawgmoth's Will to be on the one-up list because then I get it plus Mind's Desire plus a tutor, right? Like that's all.
Again, yeah, this is the thing with the one-ups list, right? It kind of makes actually having a card pointed makes it harder to play. I'm actually making these broken cards easy to play. This could all change, right? Like this could all change.
As of right now, I have to play Necropotence as my one-up card.
I don't know exactly what you're doing. You're telling me you're playing Ball Lightning, but you can't play Necro and Ball Lightning because they don't have color identity.
Oh, no, for the blue-black combo control deck.
Oh, okay.
And that's my whole point. Like, you have to play Necro because none of the other one-up cards are really that exciting. Even Bargain, throw it twice the cost. And you know my feelings on proxy.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I'm not showing up with a proxy.
Yeah, we use
spiritually pure to me.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my I'm just getting my the deck that I've started building, which I'm not going to show off yet. But I've been like.
It just feels somehow wrong to me to say, "Hey, let's play Kitchen." You show up with proxy power.
With proxy stuff, right?
That's not Kitchen.
Yeah. I agree with that. But
again, you're just going to speed run to the optimal state.
I'm just not a. I mean, I will proxy stuff. Like I have like my Type 1 deck is pretty much mostly proxy, just because I have most of the other cards in other decks, and I'm just not going to take them all out and put them in it's all proxies, right?
Type 1 is pretty much an all proxy format.
Yeah.
Right, but it's also not a kitchen table format.
Right.
Play that format to spike and do.
Yes, that format. The decks are broken, right? So.
Versus Wizlander, I mean, if I show up with Spiritmonger and Finkel and Call of the Herd and Factor Fiction, somebody's playing Proxy Power, I'm just gonna shrug at them and play on my phone when it's not my turn.
Yeah, I was thinking too. I thought about channeling this format as well.
That's the thing. You basically shadow banned half the cards on this points list because say you want to play blue-black combo, right? If you're playing Mind's Desire as one of there's a chunk of your.
Yeah. This can come down, right? Like that's the point of. I made this list and I didn't make it an open interpretation flavor format. I made this list because it gets people to play, or it might get people to play, because people are going to we talked about at the beginning. People are going to look at this list and be like, "Ooh, what can I do to this idiot made this? It didn't point Gaia's Cradle, so I'm going to try to break Gaia's Cradle." Okay, that's fine.
Hey, good luck, because I'm going to play Wasteland and Strip Mine.
Yeah, I'm going to play Wasteland and Strip Mine and Sinkhole and fuck your Gaia's Cradle. What do you there's a reason it's not as powerful as Tolarian Academy. There is a reason, but even here, right? I don't know, you don't, Tolarian Academy is still pretty strong. That's why I've got it up there, but I'm sure play it, make some mana. Yeah. I don't know what is. I kind of don't want you to tell me your Mind's Desire about your Mind's Desire. That was pretty funny, right? Because you're. What do you?
Broken Mind's Desire is.
I know it's broken in a smaller but you're playing again. You can't play a bunch of zero cost spells.
You don't need to though. Dude, it was broken in the standard deck that ran Early Harvest. It was so broken. I just copied the deck list off of.
Wait, is Early Harvest, is this a Premodern card?
Yeah, it's a 3-mana sorcery on tap all land.
Okay.
So it was in a deck that I just copied off brainburst.com, took to the FNM. It was round 4 of the Swiss when my opponent explained to me the card Mind's Desire says without paying their casting cost.
Yeah.
I was combo killing people by casting the spells I was resolving off of Mind's Desire by making mana. And I was like, oh, this is so much better.
Right. Okay.
The card's disgusting.
No, I do agree. And that, again, these type of cards are my cards. I want to play with these combo cards. This is what we do, right? But I'm trying to build this mono black kind of reanimator-ish deck. But it would just be much better if it just had blue in it, right? so I can like interact with. I'd have more interaction, right, with this kind of stuff. But again, what are we doing? Why am I optimizing? Why? I want to play with. I'm buying like, like foil zombifies, and I'm playing with a stamped entomb. Like what? Just black cards look so good. Why would I play with any other colors? Yeah, I mean, I even when I'm pulling these things out of my set binders. Like I'm pulling these out of my sets and putting them, sleeving them up. Back to what we were talking about, the like guts of the format. Here's the guts of the format. I'm going to scroll back up to the top. Here is the basic rules, right? And we talked about this too, about starting life total. I've got it at 30 right now. I do like the 2-player PDH. Like me and Nick the other day, we played some more PDH, played at 25 life. I don't know if 25 is better than 30. If 30 is too high, I don't know.
I think it works in PDH because you have to use the combat step because you're playing with creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, I don't know if there's enough. Is there enough combo to win on the stack that you carry?
I don't know, man. Like just right, yeah. Like we're trying to build combo decks out of 100 card piles. I don't really know. So again, that's why we need players to play this format and tell me what's going on. So we'll start with 30. Wizlander damage. Again, just like the rules of EDH, I did put some Wizlander damage in there. I don't think it's ever going to matter. If you attack me with your Nicol Bolas 3 times, fucking good for you. Like, please. Or any other card that does like 6 points of damage, whatever that could be. I don't know. All the sets are legal. The promotional cards, there's no anti in this format, so really the only cards that are banned are anti cards. Real printing, proxies are allowed. Modern, don't play with modern cards. Play with just proxy an old card, or proxy an old bordered card. Regular game rules, mana burn occurs, falling star, chaos orb are played with 93, 94 errata. Because they're not in pre-modern, so I just had to kind of like I'm combining old school and like the pre-modernish format there, which I'm forgetting. I should have Chaos Orb in my deck probably. See, I'm forgetting cards in my 99 already.
I was actually thinking about this earlier about Chaos Orb specifically. If someone plays a real Chaos Orb against me, I mean like Alpha Beta Unlimited.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm going to target whatever. I'm usually like, I just shrug and put it in my graveyard. But if someone plays a proxy Chaos Orb, I'm just like, flip it.
I do not. I want you should flip your Chaos Orb. I don't know. This is like, I've had people in tournaments before ask me about pregame, ask me about flipping Chaos Orb. Or do we have to flip whatever? And then I'm like, yeah, we're playing old school. We're flipping Chaos Orbs. And then in the middle of the game, cast Guardian Beast. Like, what are you doing? Like, you want to play free? You want to get free Vindicates? Yeah, like that's bullshit. Like, flip your fucking Chaos Orb. Like, you're putting it in your deck. Flip it.
50 push-ups, 50 orb flips every morning.
There you go. 100 card singleton, except for lands, of course. The Wizard Leader, again, that's just like a twist. I don't think the decks need this. Like, this is kind of something that's just, I think this is a holdover from us, like, kind of making this format in the beginning. I still think it's just kind of funny that we have a Wizard Leader that is some creature that really all it's doing, like I said earlier, all it's doing is showing your opponent what colors your deck are. Or color, like, there are no, like, not that I can think of any, like, super broken creatures that are affecting the board state in a way that, like, you know, I can't think of anything. Like, I don't know. Can you? Like, I mean, I was like, play your Ali from Cairo. Like, play your Ali from Cairo deck. Like, that's funny to me, but that doesn't do anything. Like, it's not. I don't know of any like really, really good creatures that are, if you're able to cast it 2 or 3 times in a game, that are like so good in this form, in this like era of Magic.
Right. Now, see, I'm wanting to play like on script or something as my commander, right? Like some 2-power guy at 1. My idea was like, oh, this makes giant strength on curve as this, you know, thing.
Right.
all the 2-power guys in this format, like outside of maybe Jackal Pup, they'll have this weird downside of like you have to play a creature. But it's just I want to get 2 power on the board every game on turn 1 and
right.
let them. Somebody has to be the fun police. Otherwise, these formats turn into battleship matches, throwing 6 drops at each other.
That's another reason too why we talked about life total. Like if you make the life total too high, it can turn into like everybody's beating everybody with 5/5s and 6/6s. It's not like you make the life total too high. I think it maybe cuts aggro out a little bit. That could be wrong. I could be completely wrong at that. No other broken creatures. I can't think of any broken creatures. Somebody mentioned Eladamri. We have some people talking about this. Show me. Let's play. Like I just, if you think like something is broken here, like then I'm gonna fix it. Like it's not like, oh, this is broken. Like we figured the format out. It's X points. Have fun. I'm gonna like make it to where like it's not that way. So the Wizard Leader is, again, the creature you can cast from exile. It basically has the same rules as normal commander or general rules in like EDH. The same rules. So very simple. There's nothing like we're trying to hide here. Basic stuff. So 99 cards with a Wizard Leader. And then the rest of this is like me talking about 1 card from the one of list and then pointed cards. So, I don't know. Seems fun. Let's play some 100-card Singleton, which is the point. Anything else you want to add about Wizlander?
I'm just super excited to play nonsense like Call of the Herd.
Mm-hmm.
Really looking forward to that. I have 2 stacks I'm working on. One is basically mono red with Flame Rift and all kinds of fun burn spells. Try to do 25.
Well, I'm gonna turn this off because like I don't think there's any reason for me to have like these rules up. Hey, if anybody wants these rules, just like let me know. I can send them to you.
I mean, the thing is, somebody's gonna play this against me and say it's a Mox Jet.
Yeah, I mean it's legal. It's an old border and it has the original art and it's a proxy, right? These rules are very simple, right? They're very simple and straightforward. Original art or proxies that look like the original art with old border.
I'm down.
If you proxy old border, if you proxy original art with new border, it's not legal. Don't put M15 border on your Mox Jet. I'm gonna ban you. I'm gonna throw you out. Yeah, play your formats. Play whatever cards you want. Sure, play your foil ball lightning. I thought you might. There was like maybe a foil from like. There is a foil. There's a.
Yeah, there's like a JSS.
There's a Judge promo foil. It's $30, man. Spend $30 to get this cool ass foil right here.
I'm spending $30.
Why?
That's a beta Orcish artillery. That's what $30 is.
I'm buying. Do you see this card?
Yeah, sure. That card looks great.
Do you know how much this card should cost? Did you look it up? Did you look it up when I showed it to you?
No, but I'm gonna guess Card Kingdom thinks that's $40, right?
No. That's like a no. I'd be interested to see what Card Kingdom. It's probably Card Kingdom is probably like $300. Look it up.
It's like $6 in its regular printing.
Yep. This is a foil from Apocalypse.
Yeah. EX is $180.
Okay, $180.
$30 for near me.
Do you know what I paid for that?
I hope you paid $5 for it.
I paid less than $5 for that.
Excellent, yeah. That's how you win major.
Those stores, check your stock. Make sure your prices are correct. Or fucking, I'm scouring the internet for your cheap old foils that you don't have priced correctly. Yeah. I paid $2.55 for that.
Trade that for a beat up dual land.
Why? See, that's the thing, right? Like, there are people that would have done that. There are people that would have bought this card and then immediately sold it back on the Discord for $200. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna get you to put a upside down pentagram stamp on it, and I'm gonna play with it. Like, it's my card now. I'm not like, again, like your reasoning for like leaving the old school Discords or like Gen Pop or whatever. People flipping this stuff,
Well, it's super funny.
And I didn't get it I feel okay because I didn't get it from a person, right? I'm like, I'd have been like, dude, you don't have that price right. But when I was like looking at it, I was looking on the, I don't think I told you where I got it from. When I was looking on the game store's website, I was like, what is this price? And I was like, that can't be right. And I like TCG playered it to see like what the prices were. And I was like, okay. I added it to my cart. And then I was like, I'm buying this right now. Like I'm added to my cart and like almost went to buy it. And I was like, wait a minute. I need to add some more cards to my cart to make sure it doesn't look like I'm just like, so I just added like 10 random other cards to my cart to make it look like I have like a $10 cart, right? And then they said they shipped it, and I was like, oh shit, are they actually going to send me this card? Like, I fully expected them to be like, oh, we don't have this in stock. And I'd have been like, yeah, that's fine. Like,
or send you a non-foil version.
And even that for $2.55 would have been fine, right? Yes. Yeah.
That seems awesome. That seems like a good
I guess maybe just somebody fat fingered the decimal. Like, it probably should have been. It probably was supposed to be 255 or whatever, and then somebody just fat fingered the decimal. I don't know.
Or they just don't care.
I mean, as much money as we've lost buying and selling Magic cards, I'm fine with that, right? I have lost way more than $200 buying and selling Magic cards that I didn't need anymore, right? Especially if you bought in at the middle of 2020 or 2021, early 2021 when I really started playing old school. Anything else today? Or anything else on our like? I guess this was mainly about Wizlander, right? So like anything else mainly about Wizlander or whatever?
It's been really fun for me because we played Singleton back in the day.
Love Singleton.
It would be fun.
Yeah, love it.
And it was basically Canadian Highlander before we heard of Canadian Highlander. I remember going to a game shop 2 hours away. We drove on a Saturday to play 100 cards Singleton. And that was the entire rules, right? So it was basically Canadian Highlander.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome because I showed up with a blue-black control deck. I was trying to be cool. And I got destroyed all day by people casting like an elf and grizzly bear and then a guy with 3 powers.
Yeah, everything led like...
With like my one power sink, my one quill, my one counter spell, my one memory lapse, and no way to win. Right. Awesome.
Yeah. No, it gives you a lot to like think about because it's a 100 card singleton. It's like, yeah, you're not playing 4x of these cards. So like, when are you going to draw them? And you don't have a lot of tutors because I'm like, like the most tutors you can play in Wizlanders too. Like, because I wanted to make sure I pointed this. I did put mystical tutor. Yeah, mystical tutor's at 4. So like, you can play the green tutor. I could see that maybe being okay. You can play all the green tutors, all the green creature tutors. That might be a problem, but you have Worldly Tutor, you have the other tutor from Portal, you have Natural Order.
Get a Latimer's call from Plane Ship.
Yeah, you do have to play white though. But again,
you have to play white.
Yeah, you have to play white. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe those other tutors maybe get pointed just to keep you from playing so many of those. But all the other like big tutors are pointed at 4, so you can only play 2 of them, right? Right. Are those the only green? Yeah. So your creature tutors aren't pointed. That's interesting. All right, sure. Play 10 green tutors in your deck. Let's see what. Let's go. Yeah, like I mean, the thing is like getting people to play, right? Like we have me and you'll play this. I don't know who else really likes Singleton in our Discord. Like, I know Nick would probably play, but he doesn't have a lot of these old cards. Who else did we talk about? Oh, you said DTC. You said Dave would probably play, right?
Yeah, Dave would play. I'm pretty sure I can get Kyle to play once he quits having 2 side jobs.
Yeah. Would Dave from Gainesville play, or is he just going to talk like he's going to play?
He'll probably show up some super spiky decks months from now. Again, like over-under is 5 games by people who aren't us the next 90 days.
All right. So we can probably cut this. We can end this here, yeah? Probably?
Yeah.
All right. I can probably cut a bunch of stuff out of here. It's already an hour and a half, so.
Yeah, you could have done it.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to stop the recording, and then we can continue shenanigans. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening. Add us about how broken Wizlander is. We want to know. Yep.
And definitely come at me with an unsleeved deck in an Ice Age box.
Right.
Have red cards will rumble.
Mm-hmm. See ya.